10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We are live. Oh, you're not supposed to see this guy over here. He's the guest. He's a secret guest. But oh yeah, tonight we got a great guest tonight. Welcome to the Get Funked podcast. Not your average podcast. Not your average wrestling podcast. With me, Allan, Kwee, we funk, baby. WCW royalty right here in the house, baby. And you're gonna have another one, possibly the greatest cruiserweight of all time in WCW. You know, that's some opinions, but in my opinion, he was probably the best, you know, right next, other than Kid Romeo, he was right up there, you know. So, but he was tag team partner to Kid Romeo. So we're going to have, as you can see behind me, we're going to have Primetime Elix here. But first, we're going to hit our sponsors. I got, now these sponsors here, if you're into healthy lifestyle and you want to vape, you got to go to healthvape.com. If you or anybody you know vapes, and you're into the healthy lifestyle, check out healthvape.com. Use your code MWA pod. I say these are like smoking a Red Bull. You want some energy, you want some to boost yourself, you want some vitality, you want to restore your energy, you want some vitamins. All these products are all natural. There's no nicotine, and there is no harmful chemicals in these. So if you're going to vape, please try healthvape.com, code MWA pod for your 10% discount. Courtesy of Elix Skipper. He just donated about $10,000 to the show. He's going to get you 10% off your health vape. So then we got sleeps.com. Now, if you are an athlete or you know anybody in your family that's an athlete, hell, even if you run around your house in your underwear with some knee pads on and you don't want to skid up your knees, go to sleeps.com, put in code MWA pod, get your 10% discount. You put your knee pads on, slide around, you know, wrestle with your wife, do whatever. You know, you think you're Bill Goldberg in the living room, jump off the top rope, even though Bill couldn't do that. Maybe you want to be Elix Skipper. You can just go out the back fence, climb over the top of the fence, stand on it, and then jump on your wife's face. You go to sleeps.com, you get your elbow pads, you get your arm sleeves, you get your dirty boxers. These dirty boxers are kind of like the Nike Pros, I like to say. They're real comfortable. They got a great material, a good, you know, you want to keep your junk tight when you're in the gym or you want to train. You go to sleeps.com, get you some dirty boxers. Code MWA pod for your 10%. Now, our website, we got our website up and running. And if you want to go to the website, it's www.mwapodcastnetwork.com. And if you want any cool t-shirts, you can check out these t-shirts on the store Frontier. So you got all these, you know, that's a shoot kid. That's a shoot kid. You get your Get Funked, you get your Killing the Business. We got a hashtag heel shirt, Unites at the Gimmick Table, shooting the shit with Piers Austin. We also have Intern Brad. We got a Fuck You Brad t-shirt. So go pick up your Fuck You Brad t-shirts. Make sure you take a picture of it on social media. Make sure you tag me, Elix Skipper, Brad. Make sure you tag Brad. You got to say Fuck You Brad about 10 times with a horse, with a shit emoji and a horse head, horse shit. So you got a horse head and a shit emoji. Tag Fuck You Brad, Owens Graphics, right, on Instagram or Facebook. So check it out. I don't know. Hey Brad, I don't know if we have a discount code for any of the shirts. Until I say otherwise, we don't. So check out the MWApodcastnetwork.com. Go to the store frontier.com/MWA world. Check out the t-shirts. We really appreciate it. Now, I used to be one of my good buddies traveling in the WCW. I always kept him in line because he always wanted to go out and party and drink all the beers, you know, hang out with all these chicks. So I kept him in line. He had a hard time with it, but thanks to me, I got him on a straight and narrow. You know, I got him to the gym every morning. I took him under my wing. It was the least I could do for the kid. He's from New York, small town, didn't know anybody down in Atlanta. So, like I said, Elix Skipper, prime time. This is my house, Elix. So when you get on my podcast, it's still my house, Elix. Don't forget who taught you everything you know about the business. Sarge didn't teach you nothing. It was me. It was Kwee, Allan Funk, baby. So, like I said, the best WCW cruiserweight ever in WCW. My buddy, Elix Skipper. That's right, baby.
What up?
You like the background there? I got the Fall Brawl logo.
Ah, look at that. Look at that.
That's when we had the good match up there, Fall Brawl. You remember that, right?
Yeah, they said it was the best match, not just a good match.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. I was always a curtain jerker. So, a lot of people said that about our match at Fall Brawl. And then when me and Jason Jett wrestled the first match at the last pay-per-view, agreed. I got a lot of compliments on that match. So, but I remember at the time we did that match in New York. I was doing a radio show up in New York. After the match, I agreed to call them. So I was on the radio and they were talking about the match and they freaking loved it. I don't know if I ever told you that or not. But
yeah, you did.
I was on one of the radio stations talking about the match, and those guys thought it was, they thought it was great. So, it was well received, and me and you all always tear the house down. We might break a $20,000-$30,000 camera lens, but we had a hell of a match.
Hey, that's our job, right? Come on, that's our job.
Now, see, I'm still under protest of that. Now, everybody's going to see that match. They're going to see what? They're going to see me lose the match.
They saw a good match.
But what they don't realize is this freaking Canadian right here, Elix Skipper, had one of his old, Canadian football rings.
I just got a heavy hand.
He took it out of his pocket and clocked me in the side of the head with it. Now,
I didn't see none of that. Brad, did you see
that stuff.
All I seen was a straight right hand, and you went down.
Thank you. Thank you. Stop crying. Come on, Allan.
You see these close fists? That's illegal in wrestling. It's open.
Let me talk to Kwee. I don't want to talk to Allan no more. Let me talk to Kwee.
You're talking to angry Allan Funk right now. Because after all them years, I'm still pissed you cheated in that match. If you remember that match, Elix, that we were a semi-main event and we were in Canada.
Right.
And I don't know. You remember they came to us and said, we need you guys to do a semi-main event. You up for it? And, what the hell do you think we said?
Let's see. Yeah.
We said, what I did want to ask them, though, is they always told us down at Power Play, if you don't have a good match today, you're going to be fired. I was thinking, well, shit, if we don't have a good match, we're going to get fired. You know what I mean?
Always have a match ready. Yeah.
So, but, we did a good job for our first semi-main event, because nothing was ever, and you could probably test this, even that match being a semi-main event, we didn't really have a lot of direction, if you remember.
Nope. And it was last minute. It wasn't like, we planned for like everybody else. It was like,
and they said they wanted the ending to be, screw me with the, now I can't remember what exactly happened, but didn't they want us to run the spot again? Remember, didn't you hit me with a thing, but something to do with the commentary they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Right, and it was going to change it.
In that match, if you listen, they called it brass knucks.
Right.
And you kind of staggered around, so they didn't stop it. They kept it going, and then when he hits you that last time where he pins you in that,
Shivani finally said he hit with the ring.
Yeah,
Shivani.
The one that messed it up was the big guy. I can't remember his name.
Right.
Mark Madden.
Mark Madden. Mark Madden's the one that messed up the call.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Instead of putting the ring over. Yeah.
Yeah. But and that again, that's WCW at its finest back in that day. They'd always, and Elix should probably tell you, they always had all the top guys. They spent all their day with the top guys. They got to get everything. So guys
Let us figure it out.
Yeah, they're like, well, this is what we want. Can you handle it semi-main event? If you fuck up, you probably get fired, but no big deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's kind of how it was with us, wasn't it?
Yep. It's like, go figure it out. This is what we want. Figure it out.
It was kind of frustrating, but, it made us get better, right?
Better, faster. Yep.
Yeah, because now I've always told people this story before. Now, when we were down at the old power plant and we go to the new power plant, remember Paul Orndorff come in? So then they had Jimmy Hart and, J.J. Dillon, and they all come down to the power plant. Me and you wrestled a match, and then I think didn't we wrestled a tag team match too with Kid Romeo, didn't we?
Yeah, I did a singles that day. I did a tag team with you guys, and then I did 3 matches that day.
Yeah, I think you wrestled Joey, didn't you?
No, he was tall, skinny. I forgot his name.
Spider-Man.
Chad, wasn't it Chad?
Oh, Chad Fortune.
Yeah, Chad Fortune.
Oh,
I
okay.
did him
Yeah, I do
last.
remember that. Yeah.
And it was a do or die. It wasn't like go out there and have a good match. It's like if you guys don't have a good match, you're gonna get fired.
Yeah.
Or you won't make it to the new school. That's what it was.
Exactly. Because they said if you have a good match, we're gonna offer you a contract, you're gonna go to the new school. If not, you're out the fucking door.
Right. If not, you're not going to the new school.
It was really stressful, man, because we go down there, we go through the 3-day trial, which is a nightmare.
Right.
I've talked about that before on the show. Is there any? Do you remember my tryout when I come down there? Because you were already there.
Right. No, Al, we did so many tryouts.
Yeah, I know.
I'm happy I made it through mine. And then once you're on the other side, it's just different. Yeah. Because you already made it. You just got to make it through the day.
Yeah, I do remember you there, though, on my tryout.
Right. Our school was a tryout every day. Even though we made it, it still was a tryout. Yeah, you're right. Every day they was threatening to fire us.
Yeah, exactly. Paul would say, fuck yeah, kid, you want your release? I go to the office right now and get it.
Right.
Remember those days?
Yeah.
And it's like
every day you could get released.
Yeah, we're busting our ass. Remember, we used to have to fucking be there at a certain time, and then we had to.
Right. Even if we were on TV, we was already on TV doing shows, flying back in, going to the school by 12 o'clock when we was there.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of guys stopped doing that, so I stopped doing it.
Right.
I kind of eased out of it because I thought it was bullshit, man. All these guys, we're traveling, and then when we were going up to Tennessee, we're wrestling up there in the Nashville circuit with WCW sends us up there with Burt Prentice.
Yeah,
and we're wrestling like Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then we'd go to the pay-per-view every once a month on a Sunday. Then we go to Nitro and Thunder, and every other Wednesday we film the Saturday night shows. So there for a while we were working, and then remember we were actually
getting paid. We was making too much money, right? And then they stopped it.
Yeah, and Paul come up there and goes, "Wait a minute, you guys are getting
how much y'all making?" Right.
Yeah, and I was making pretty good money at that time.
Right.
Because we were getting paid every match.
Right.
Yeah. So,
and on Sundays, we were probably working 2 matches that day. So we got paid for both matches.
Yes, I
remember. And they were making way too much money. Yeah.
So then Paul ixnayed that, which was fine with me because, I kind of got tired of traveling to Nashville every weekend because that put a strain on the marriage. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. We was never home. We used to already, and they said we didn't pay our dues. We was never home.
Yeah, never, man. So, yeah. But we didn't pay. I tell you what, in a 3-day tryout, we paid our fucking dues.
Right.
Because there ain't nobody in the wrestling business went through a 3-day tryout like we did. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
What people don't understand is our tryout never stopped. Because during the training, our warm-ups, do 1,500 squats. Who do that every day?
Yeah. And I try to tell people that, they think I'm lying.
Like, please, you had to be there.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And now I'm not saying everybody did it. Kid Romeo kind of, he'd slide out the back. He'd come in late, and after the last 400 or 500 squats, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, come on, let's go." Yeah. After
they were smart.
Yeah,
they were smart. They come in late so they wouldn't have to do all that mess.
Right.
But some of us couldn't do that though, because if we came in late, we would have got called out.
Oh yeah, every day, twice on Sunday.
Right.
So
remember that reporter that came down that day to the school and was talking junk? He came to the show the day before.
Yeah, you're talking about Louis Theroux, that little skinny guy.
Yes, talking about wrestling was fake. Remember him?
Yes. You know what? I should have had you bring up a clip of that, Brad. Louis Theroux.
That was so funny.
And remember, we had him. He puked at least.
Throwing up. He wasn't. And what, like Sarge said, it wasn't even chunks. He was throwing up water.
But dude, he didn't even do anything. He
I'm a dying cockroach. I'm a dying cockroach.
We did get him to say that, and we went off on that motherfucker.
And I can't believe he said it. I was like, oh my God, I would never.
No, I wouldn't say that even if my leg was broken half.
I would just lay there.
I'd be like, give me some tape. Fuck, I ain't hurt. And that's how we did it down there.
But that was the mentality, though. That was the reason why they put us through all of that, so we wouldn't give up. If something happened on TV, we would go through the match no matter what.
Yeah. And I mean, it makes sense now looking back on it.
Right.
But, dude, we did take a lot of unnecessary shit, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
we had a bump quota. Remember a bump quota?
Yeah.
Even Rico told us that.
Yeah.
He said, you guys are taking way too many bumps.
Yes, exactly.
You can only do so much. Yeah.
He was dead right, because sometimes I feel like, some days I'll wake up, I feel great. Other days I'm like, man, I can really feel the shit.
Right. Yeah. But you had to keep pushing. You
had
to keep pushing.
You just had an injury recently with your leg, right?
Yes. I went roller skating with my daughter and I broke my femur.
Yeah, and it like you didn't fall.
I jumped in the air, spent around, and it popped. And before I hit the floor, I already knew I broke my bone. I didn't know which one, but I knew I broke it.
Oh, so you felt it break while you were in the air?
Right. Yep. As soon as I spent, I felt it break. And when I hit the floor, then my daughter came over me and said, "Stop fooling around." And I told her I broke my leg, and then she started crying and telling people to get away from me.
Well, and here's what I'm thinking. Do you think that had anything to do with, like, remember Sid Vicious when he broke his leg in the ring that night when it snapped?
Right.
Now, they said he had a stress fracture they didn't know. That's how he broke his leg.
Right.
So do you think maybe you had an old injury from wrestling that you weren't aware of?
It could have been, because they, to this day, I took a bone density test, and they can't figure out why I broke my leg. Besides the fact that I did martial arts and wrestling and all that other stuff.
I bet you $1 million that you had probably. Fracture. Yeah, I'll bet you.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember the night you drove up to Nashville and your $70,000 expedition you bought that one day? You remember you paid cash?
You mean I let you guys drive?
No.
We was all hanging out together.
Now, remember we had Sean O'Hare, I think Jindrak was last, right?
And you was the only one I would let drive.
And you had. Yeah, right. Because you're the only one I let drive my car.
Right. I was like, I'm only letting Allan drive. Give him the keys. Me and my wife, we sat in the back when you drove.
Yeah. Because you took your Joannie.
Right.
So you remember that night? I think me and you wrestled that Saturday night. Remember I popped my hamstring and it was black as night.
Oh yeah.
And I rode in the back like in pain, driving the whole way back home.
Yeah.
So we used to do shit like that all the time, man.
Yeah, but that was like regular though. Like when we got hurt, we just had to suck it up, and then you still have to go to school the next day.
Yeah. So, I still have trouble with that injury from my hamstring. It still bothers me.
Wow.
Because I never got it fixed.
Right.
Because what did we do? We drove back to Atlanta, then we flew out Sunday and went to Nitro Monday.
Go back and wrestle.
With a torn hamstring.
Right. It was never a downtime for us.
No,
that's
never.
What people don't understand. It's not like basketball or football where you get time off. It was all year round, including our training. Even when we thought we made it, we still had to go back to the school and train.
Yeah, we're killing ourselves every day, just like Stephen Reed with the bump quota.
He's like, "What are y'all doing?" Yeah, he's like, "What are y'all doing?"
Yep, but we didn't have a fucking choice though.
Nope, it's either do it or get kicked out. That was our options. They said we wasn't gonna be like everybody else and stay home and get a paycheck. So
now going back to the power plant, your tryout.
Right.
Now, I know you were there probably a few months before I was, but tell us about your tryout. What you remember going into the room, how many people was in there, how many people made it?
So they was pissed during my tryout because when I was going through my tryout, it was me, Rick Cornell, and a third person. And it was supposed to be a bunch of people, but only 3 of us showed up.
Oh, shit. So Reno was you talking about, Rick Cornell.
Right, Reno. And then they said, well, let's hurry up and get them out of here so we can finish doing our workout. And I looked around like, holy shit. Like, we gonna, I didn't think we was gonna make it because they was gonna kick us out the door. And I was like, no matter what, I'm not quitting. Yeah. Reno, he already said this was his second time going through. He ain't quitting. So, and then I don't even remember the other guy who he was, but he dropped out right away. And then we just, they was on us from day one. They was gonna make us quit so they could do their workout. We wouldn't quit.
And you guys had it way brutal because, in most of the tryouts, you had 15, 20,
a bunch of people, right? You could beat up on everybody.
Yeah.
But they just picked on me and Rick. That was it. And they was like, Rick ain't going to make it. He already dropped out once. We're going to make him drop out again. That was their attitude.
Yeah. And, it was funny. It was not like they didn't care. They just wanted to fucking, beat your ass. They wanted to see if you were going to quit or not.
If you got what it takes to make it. That's what it was.
So, I didn't realize that with your tryout. It was only you two.
Right. Yeah. It was just me, Rick, and the other guy. But he didn't make it past an hour. That's why I don't even remember his name. Yeah. He was gone before, once you don't make it, you leave the building. You don't even stay there.
No, hell no. So, they wouldn't let you.
You don't even stay there. They throw you out.
So did you get any injuries in your 3-day tryout or... So you flew down there from New York. You didn't drive, right?
No, I drove.
Shit.
I drove.
So how was that drive back home? Because I tell you what, I wouldn't have wanted to drive.
Brutal. Let me tell you. So it was like cruise control all the way home, and I could barely move. Everything hurt. Like I still did one day, and then the second day, I didn't know how we was gonna make it through the second day because we were so sore we couldn't move. Yeah. Like everything hurt. We took turns in the bathtub with Epsom salt. We was in so much pain.
Oh, you and Rick stayed together?
Yeah, we stayed together. I got you.
It
was so bad.
So here's how I explain it to people. When I went through my tryout the first day, like you said, I literally was thinking to myself after I left that first day, I went to Kroger to go get some Epsom salt. I went to go get some bananas.
Thing.
And I fucking literally opened the rental car door and fell right on my face. I couldn't even walk.
Right.
Like my legs just cramped up.
Right.
I couldn't even move.
Yeah.
So it took me, I bet, an hour to get in the store. I finally grabbed a cart and used it like a fucking walking, like a cane.
Right. Yeah.
So I get in there, I get some Epsom salt and some fucking bananas. I get back to the hotel and I remember trying to walk up the fucking stairs. And I'm like, I called my girlfriend at the time, which was my ex-wife, TJ, you knew her. And I said, I don't know how in the fuck I'm going to make it tomorrow.
The next day, right. You still have to make it through the next day.
Yeah, you still had 2 days to go.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, I literally, Elix, I would roll out of the bed and crawl to the bathroom.
Right.
To get up. And then, you know what I did? I tied a fucking towel onto the doorknob to pull myself up to sit on the shitter. And I mean, not even to take a shit. Just to take a piss, because I didn't have enough energy to stand up and piss.
Trust me, you was not the only one. I still don't know how I made it the second day. Like, there's like 2 push-ups, like my wrist was hurting. It's not that I couldn't do them, but I was so sore from all the stuff we did the day before, my body was shutting down.
But you know, once you started though, it was like you were on reset.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you left that second day, it was even worse the second day.
Yeah. Like you couldn't even scratch your behind. That's how bad you were hurting.
You couldn't even blow your nose.
Yep. You couldn't even lift your arm up.
You didn't even give a shit.
Yep.
So yeah, and to make it through those 3 days is incredible. That that your mind would let you, your mind and body would actually work together so you get through that shit.
Right, because it definitely wasn't your body; it was your mind pushing your body.
Oh,
there was nothing left. There was nothing left.
I couldn't imagine driving from Atlanta, Georgia to New York.
Oh my God!
After the 3 day trial, I was fucking done.
Allan, only thing that saved me was the fact that I made it. I was so happy that I made it, that I had, adrenaline flowing. And that's what made me make it home, because I made it. Because I honestly thought for a second I wasn't going to make it.
Dude, I had to walk through the airport was bad enough. And people were looking at me like I was like a cripple.
What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I literally couldn't fucking move. You would have swore I had fucking broken legs, broken knees, everything. Like I was
like you got the shit beat out of you, but you did. Your face didn't look like it, but you looked like somebody beat.
Well, no, I did because I broke my nose during my tryout.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I had black and blue eyes. I mean, I looked like someone ran me over with a car. So
yeah, I remember that. I couldn't
imagine the 2-hour plane ride back to Ohio, dude. Was fucking like brutal.
Yeah, I think it took me like 14 hours to get home. It usually takes anywhere from 10 to 11. It took me like 14 hours to get home. Yeah, but I was still happy. Because I made it. I was happy as hell. I was happy as hell, but I was hurting.
And then about a week later, you finally realized, man, I'm not hurting anymore. I feel good.
I didn't do nothing for a week, Allan. When I got home, I didn't do no working out, no nothing. I had to recover from all that mess.
Now, see, I did. I went straight to work then that Monday.
Nope, I didn't work. I couldn't work if I wanted to. I was hurting so bad. I really was. I was hurting so bad it wasn't funny.
Damn. So yeah, there was I think there was like 15, 20 guys in my trial, and I was the only one who made it. And
wow,
dude, I remember sitting at the hotel room. Remember the Green Derby Holiday Inn, like down off Hal Mill, right off the exit.
Yeah.
So that's where I stayed. So I remember I'm out there in the pool on my 3rd day, but I had to fly home the next day. So that night I'm out in the pool trying to fucking just soak in the pool or just trying to move my body. So then I went down to the restaurant, and when I got up to pay my bill, I fell right on my fucking face, just like I did in the parking lot at Kroger. And the waitresses were all like, "Oh shit!" They're like, "Should we call an ambulance?" I'm like, "No." I said, "I just can't." Like my legs, I'm like, I couldn't straighten my legs out. Every time I tried to sit up, I'd grab the chair and the table, and I'd fall right back down on my face.
Oh,
my legs weren't working.
Yeah, I've been there. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, now when you tell me that, I know exactly what you're saying. But people, unless people actually go through something like that,
they don't get it.
They will never understand the mental and the physical toll that took on your body.
I could have done it. I would have did this. No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have.
That's why there was thousands of people went through there, and there was only a couple
didn't make it. Right. The first day, not even the first day. How many, like the first hour, how many people drop out?
Honestly, there was probably I want to say at least 25 guys in my class. Within the first hour, there was maybe 4 of us left.
See, there you go. We
I mean, out of that many.
what, squats, basically, just doing squats. And
Well,
all of a sudden, all of them dropping out.
Yeah, we did squats and push-ups, and then they kept throwing us in the ring and have us run the ropes. I remember
And
soon as we got in the
with your
ring,
knees.
and then Prince IK was down there.
Right.
So if he didn't like he was beating the shit out of fucking people.
Right.
Like
that's
Prince actually, Prince might have helped break my nose because he jumped on me, cross-faced me, and I was like, fuck. Like my nose was pouring blood, and I had guys kicking the shit out of me for real.
Right.
Like,
and what was you gonna
ribs.
do? Complain? What was you gonna do? Complain about?
Nah, fuck no. I was,
no.
I don't know if you remember this, but I'm a dumbass, Elix. Like I'm like, after he hit me in the nose, my nose bleeding. I was like, you can't hit no harder than that. Fuck. You know, and then you get it worse. And then guys jumping on you, like 3 or 4 guys, I remember just stretching me, like Chase Tatum, and they're literally hurting me. And I'm like, and I stand up and go, you motherfuckers are pussies. That's all you got.
Yeah. Actually, I do remember that. I remember.
Yeah. Like no,
I think what the hell's wrong with him? What
like Pistol Pez was like, that motherfucker's crazy.
I remember that. I do remember that. I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like,
do you remember Brett Hamner, that guy that was like 200 he might have been 300 pounds. He was like 290.
Right.
Big blonde guy. Yeah. So you remember we went outside and we had to run with people on our backs, right?
Right.
So Pistol Pez like, who you want? And all these guys are picking like fucking ping pong. Little Chinese kid weighed 85 pounds.
Right.
And I looked at Pez. I said, I want that guy right there. Pointed at Brett. He's like, oh, motherfucker, crazy. So Brett jumps on my back, and I run up and down the parking lot with him, and I'm dying. But Pistol Pez like, that's what I'm talking about. This motherfucker wants it. He's crazy. You know.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, and I had Rick. It was only me and Rick. Look how big Rick was compared to me.
Oh,
I was running up and down with Rick. I was like, oh, damn.
See, they wouldn't let us run anybody in the training. We had to pick like some of the guys that were fresh, like the big fuckers. Right. And they had a bunch of guys down there with the tryouts, you know.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember the time? So once we made it to the new school, they had they invited people to come down there, and they would they would match us up with them, and they would
so you're talking about like independent guys.
Right. And they was like, oh, no. And then remember they had them shooting on us. They said, okay, get in the ring with them. Let them do whatever. Yeah. Like, come on, pick me. You know, they always think they could beat us up. Like, come on, you ain't beating none of us.
Dude, you remember that time I went there and that one dude, he was a black guy. He was an independent worker. Remember he had a world championship belt tattooed on his arm.
Okay,
And then on the other, he had Skull Crusher.
Wrong move.
Remember he called me out? You remember what happened?
Yeah.
I fucked that motherfucker up. I choked him till he was blue. I'm like, Sergeant, and Chuck, Chuck Blumbo, Mark's like,
right. Egging it on.
Yeah. So I got in the ring and I choked that motherfucker out every way to Sunday. And then remember what happened after that?
No, what happened after?
He called me out again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then I went there. I wouldn't let him go. Sarge and Danny Fakir had to pull me off.
Had to get you off of him. Yeah,
as they were pulling me off, I'm hitting his nose. Motherfucker.
Call me out again.
But do you remember Terry Taylor coming in after that tryout?
Yeah, we got in trouble. We almost got fired that time.
Yes. And I told people that, but do you remember who stepped up and told him?
You did. That was you.
Yeah, remember everybody was like, he's like, someone's getting fired.
We didn't say a word.
Remember Terry said someone's getting fired.
So we was just doing what we was told.
Yeah, so I stepped up. He goes, I want to know who did it. And I stepped up and said, I did. He's like, you? He goes, what the fuck? He goes, and he's like, someone has to get fired today, but I can't fire you. I said, Terry, we just do what we're fucking told.
Yeah.
And then we do what was done to us, and that's the way it fucking is. And then Terry went and like investigated and shit and was like, you guys can't treat people like that. And we're like,
that's what was done to us. That's what they tell us to do. So, or otherwise worse will be done to us.
Yes, exactly. So but I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I tell them stories sometimes and people don't think they believe me.
If you only know.
Yeah, right.
If you only know.
Because let me tell you something. I know you're the same boat with me, because me and you, and I can say this with confidence, you and I were one of the 2 best cardiovascular machines in that fucking country.
Yeah, we could go.
Whenever Sarge wanted something done, guess who he called? Alex and Elix.
Yeah, you go.
Allan and Elix.
Alex and
Elix.
Now the only other one that had any kind of win.
Mark.
Well, Mark did, but I'm talking about hard body.
Oh, please. He had better cardio than all of us. He never
No
stopped.
way, not better than me.
Oh, yeah, Mark.
That-
I mean,
Elix,
hard body.
not better than you.
Hard
either.
body. Yeah, hard body had cardio. He
Not
could go
better than
all
you.
day.
No way.
Oh, but no, I give
Elix,
it to
listen.
hard body.
No, I'm telling you, me and you had the best. Hard body acted like he had better. He was hurting a lot of times.
Well, we did it day in, day out.
But if you notice, hard
did
body
it when he would show up.
Now, I'll agree with you. Hard body had great cardio, but listen,
Right.
if you ever noticed, if you look back on those times when we did all that shit,
Right.
you notice hard body
He
was
wasn't
always
doing
like
everything.
a cheerleader, and he wasn't doing
Right.
everything we did.
Yeah, he wasn't doing everything.
So-
yeah, I did notice that.
So that's why I say
Yeah,
you and
good
I
point.
by far.
Good point.
Now,
Yeah.
you know, Mark for sure. I mean, all of us
Yeah.
did.
Right.
But, you know, me and you definitely stood out. And I'm proud to say that because out of all the great athletes down there, you and I
Yeah.
stood out and they used us. And Sarge knew that. That's why he always
Yeah.
used us. And
Yeah.
whenever somebody called somebody out in the power plant, we had to get in the ring. He
Yeah.
called me and you.
Yep. Put in there first. Do a match. Give me
Yeah.
10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever
Yeah.
it was. Or when
And-
people was coming down, do a match for them.
Yeah. So, but you know what? And I'm proud of that because, you know, Sarge and Paul and all those guys knew that, you know, they could rely on me and you.
Right. To do
You
it.
know?
Yep.
But yeah, that's funny because I talked to a lot of the power plant guys. I've had them on my show, but we never really talked about stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
But you know, so let's talk about after we get done with the Nashville crap. Well,
Right.
you and I, we started doing the Saturday night TV stuff
Yep.
together. So you and I worked a couple Saturday nights together.
Yep.
And we blew the house down, bro. We had the greatest matches.
So what people don't know is we always promised if we would make it, we would always take care of one another.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of who was on top, we would always take care of and have a great match. It wouldn't be about the person. It would be
Yeah.
about the match. That was a promise we all made to one another.
And here's another thing I always said. If I ever get to the point where I'm like, you know, a main superstar and you know, all my buddies that I went to the power plant,
You would pull somebody up.
I would always try to help
Yeah.
everybody out.
Pull somebody up.
And I truly believe that, you know, if that would ever happen one day, you know, just like Hogan back in the day, all his
Right.
buddies in WWE
Buddies,
were all
yeah.
his buddies, like Brutus
Yeah.
Beefcake, Tugboat, and all these guys, Earthquake, they were all his hanging buddies. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're all, you know, top guys in WWE, which, you know,
Yeah.
I admire Hogan for taking care of his buddies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We always
So-
promise to look out for one another.
Yeah. You know, if Macho Man was still alive, I'd probably be a billionaire right now working at WWE.
Doing his gimmick. Yeah, he was good. His
Yeah.
gimmick, Hogan gimmick, he was always good at imitating those guys. But
yeah,
then,
but you know, I became
Keely
good
was
friends with
good
Macho
too.
Man. Who was
Right.
that? Who was that?
I said, but Keely, that gimmick was really good how you did it.
Yeah, but they never let me do what I wanted to do.
Right.
You know, they held us back. You know that.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
that's what I like about Vince. Vince is like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Just go out there and do what you do. Whatever you need to do, just do it. And we'll say sorry. We will and ask for forgiveness. And that's
Yeah.
what I love about Vince.
Yeah.
He always told us that.
Yeah, Vince, you know, like people always ask me if I had heat with Vince or, you know, if I don't like him, because a lot of people don't like him, but
Right.
he gave us our chance. He gave me my
Yeah.
character. He helped us out. I mean, did he do everything he could to help us? Who knows? But
Right.
he at least give us a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
He
what I
told
mean?
us, don't be worried about nothing. He said, we'll figure it out later after you do it. He said, don't. He said,
But-
just go in the ring and do what you do.
But that was a good and bad thing. They needed more direction
Right.
on us. That was a good
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
But they trusted us, but it was a bad thing that they really didn't have. They didn't really know what they wanted to do with us. So they just said,
Right.
you know, we're going to throw you in a match tonight, you know, do whatever. And what are we
Right.
going to say? No.
No, we was happy to be there. Anything was better than going down to the school for 8 hours, 9 hours,
No shit,
Okay.
right?
bumping for nobody.
Yeah, for no reason. So, and then, so then you became a cruiserweight champ. You were with Duggan,
Lance.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Lance
Yeah.
Storm. And you guys, you know, I even had a couple good matches. And I think you remember with Lance Storm where you
Yeah.
come out and, so yeah, with the Team Canada, you guys had a great thing. You always
Yes.
had good matches with anybody you ever fucking worked. And
Yeah.
you know, same
Always
with
on
me.
TV. Always on TV.
Yeah. So then that's when the big bucks start rolling in. Elix is probably making about $35,000 a week.
Yeah, but Allan, just think. Listen, Natural Born Thrillers.
Yeah.
You wasn't a part of it. I wasn't a part of it.
Yeah,
we
right.
were the only two that went in different directions, and everybody else stayed together. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, you know, I wondered if it was because they knew we could wrestle singles,
Right.
and
'Cause we didn't
have
need a
good
group.
matches with people.
Right.
And to me, that was a good thing because if you notice, anybody that was ever a tag team, like Booker T, for example, after
Right.
you know him and his brother kind of split up, you know, he became a world champion.
Heavyweight. Yeah.
So you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and you know other
Like they
guys
trusted
too.
us.
Yeah.
Right.
So other guys the same way. Once the cream always rises to the top. So I'm thinking this will be a good thing for us. We're not involved in the Natural-Born Thrillers, but they did get, dude, if there was 10 segments on Nitro, they were on 8.
Oh my God. They got what, 8? Yeah, about 8, 9 of them. They was on everything. So if they
we'll say at least 6.
Yeah. Like, how do you not get over if you're on everything? Like,
right. And Sanders did come into his own. He was great on the mic.
Yep. Oh, he definitely was. He didn't need to wrestle. He just needed to talk because that was his gift.
But the thing was, people forget that Mike was a good worker.
Right. Because he could do both. But he was so good on the mic. Why would you have him wrestle? He was one of those people.
Well, it was more entertainment at that point.
Right.
Sports entertainment, so he didn't have to.
Right.
But me and him did wrestle, and we had a great match at the pay-per-view in Milwaukee.
Right, because he could wrestle too. He could do them both. He could do it all.
Yeah. So did you ever wrestle?
I remember one Saturday we came to the taping, and everybody was wrestling each other, and I was wrestling. I think Kidman one week, and then I did Ray the next week, and I was like, "What am I doing wrong? Why am I not with, my boys? Why are we not wrestling each other?"
Yeah.
No, and then that's when Russo told me you don't need to wrestle with them. You need to wrestle with the other guys so they know that you guys can work with everybody, not with just each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I never looked at it that way.
Yeah. Well, I did because I kind of looked at other, like we talked about Booker T, and there were some other guys I can't, right off the top of my head, I can't remember. But I remember, once guys always separate, and they, like the Rockers, like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, he went on to become an icon, and Marty Jannetty, people know who he is, but he's not the level of Shawn Michaels.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good thing for us, but it was kind of, I understand you kind of wanted to be with your buddies in the power plant, and but they had their own
to let us go our own way.
Yeah, it was better for us that way anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
If you look back on it, because look at all the guys you work with, you've never had a bad match with anybody. I could probably say that. I mean, really.
I agree. It's easy, just get in the ring and work.
Yeah,
it's not about getting over; it's about getting the match over.
And not having a fucking attitude. And,
right.
And being able to work with anybody and let them,
no matter what.
Yeah. And a lot of guys in the wrestling business. Now, I did have a couple bad matches in my career, but it was just like I had a bad match with Norman Smiley one night on the Worldwide show. But he, he had that European style, and we could never get our timing right. It wasn't that, we're both good workers, but for some reason, some people have that guy where they just can't have a good match with.
Right.
But
did you ever
have anybody like that?
I don't think so. I think only ever bad match I really criticized myself about was in TNA, but it was a tag team match. It was a first match, but I just broke my wrist, and I still did the match. It was one of those X matches.
Yeah.
And hanging off the cable, jumping off stuff, and I had a broken wrist, and I just broke it like 3 weeks before the match. So to me, that was my worst match because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to be in the ring, but in wrestling, you got to do it. It's not really optional.
Do you remember the power play when Ron Reese broke my ankle when he rolled on it with a drop down?
Oh yeah, just rolling on you.
And then I had, the motherfucker is 500 damn pounds.
Just rolling, yeah.
So remember, I had to wrestle my first big Saturday night match that I'm not wrestling somebody from the power plant. I'm wrestling Kaz Hayashi for the Cruiserweight belt.
Right.
And with a broken fucking ankle. So, and looking back on it, the match was actually still pretty good because Kaz came down to the power plant and we worked on it.
Right.
But
what people don't know is that you had a broken ankle, but that's the training that we go through. That was the point of the power plant.
Yeah, so they had to taped my ankle up. They pulled my foot back and taped it up, and then they put my boot on and taped my boot
onto your foot.
And by the time I remember, I just bought I had the very first pair of wrestling shoes I had, the wrestling boots, the black ones,
right,
the short ones. So I remember when I go back, Chuck Plum was in the locker room, and I was trying to get him. My ankle got so swelled up that he couldn't even take my boot off.
Right, and it was gonna cut your boot off, wasn't it?
Yes, and I told him to cut it off, and Chuck's like, "Dude, your fucking TJ will kill you."
Right.
and then I thought about it. I said, "Yeah, she will kill me because I just paid $300 for these damn boots."
Oh my God, yeah.
So Chuck actually finally pulled it off me, but dude, my ankle was so swelled up I couldn't even walk on it.
Yeah, but see, that's what people don't get. That's the training that we went through. No matter what, you're gonna be able to do the match.
Yeah,
and that was it.
But you know what? That carries. I've been like that my whole life because I learned that from my parents. and I'm like that with work nowadays. Like no matter what I do, I still, try to do the best I can do with what I'm working with.
Right. Yeah.
But there's
No
not a lot of people like
excuses.
that anymore.
Nope. Like calling out. Well, what do you mean call out? I ain't call out unless I'm dead.
Right? I've never called out of work.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah. Same thing with school. I'm one of the idiots that got the big old trophy for never being absent.
Yeah,
Why would I want to be home? I'd rather go to school.
Yeah,
I ain't
right.
staying home.
Yeah, so you had the perfect attendance record in school.
Yeah, unfortunately, from 4th grade all the way up until I graduated.
Yeah, see, when I was a kid, though, you get chicken pox and shit like that, and fuck, you can't,
Being sick wasn't an option in my
like
house.
said,
Alan.
chicken
You
pox.
had
Hell,
to
I
go to
never got
school.
chicken pox. I ain't
You
that
had
shit
to
out
go
my
to
skin.
school. Put some makeup on. You'll be all right. Come on,
Yeah,
cut it out.
All right, so let's talk about your TNA stuff. As the other night when we were doing my other show,
Okay.
I called you called in. I called Crowbar.
Right.
So do you remember what Crowbar said about you that night?
Oh, he said something about the cage match. He was the
Yeah,
way
well,
I
you
walked
did.
the
He said
cage
you had the best Frankensteiner ever in the history of
ever
wrestling business.
from the top of the cage.
You
Yeah.
want to talk about that?
So listen. So the night we did it, the first time we did a cage match, I wanted to do that move, but we didn't do it because the AC went out on the face pay-per-view. So we didn't do it because when AC go up, everything is slick and slippery.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even stand on the cage. So that's the only reason I didn't do it like 3 years prior. Otherwise, I would have done it the first cage match.
Well, let me stop you for 1 second. So you're in a match with who? While you're doing this match?
It was who was it? It was me,
What?
Triple X, and it was who was not the Naturals. It was
Cowboy
the Cowboys.
Storm.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, it was America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, America's Most Wanted.
Okay.
And we had that match, and it was me, Triple X. We did it against them, and it basically like we wrestled them so many times. When you wrestle somebody 2 or 3 times, it's not even work. It really is.
Yeah.
You don't even have to talk. Basically, you really don't have to talk.
Yeah.
But it was one of them type of matches. It wasn't even work. It was just let's go in there and do what we do.
So then you decided I'm gonna fucking do a fucking Frankensteiner off the top of the damn cage.
Yep. And I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest, because when I got up there, the difference of a 6-foot cage and a 20-foot cage is it's going to shake when you get to the top. So that's why when you see me walking across it, I got my arms out, like I'm trying to balance on the top because the cage is moving.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing I didn't think of, when I was doing that walk. But like, you know how it is. We got to do it.
Yeah. When I saw that match, when you're doing it, I was shitting my pants because I'm like, holy fuck. Because I know, I know how good an athlete you are and stuff. And I know your mentality because I trained with you forever and we traveled a lot together. And,
right.
But still, I'll be honest with you. When I watched you do that shit, it scared the shit out of me. I was like, God dang.
I didn't even have a chance to get scared, really. Because when you first see me and when I go to stand up, I got both of my feet together. I never stand on a cage with both of my feet together. Yeah. But that was the only way I can get balance with the cage shaking back and forth. And as soon as I stood up, I took off because I couldn't, I didn't want to fall. So I just took off as soon as
So now when you landed on the ring, how was that?
Oh, it hurt like hell. My ribs, I hurt my ribs when I landed. My 2 ribs on my right side.
Yeah, because there's a chance for you to over rotate,
right.
You could have fucking hurt yourself bad.
Anything. You could over rotate. You see people break their ankles, mess up their knees, anything.
Well, that would have been mild if you'd have landed on your fucking neck or something,
Right. I mean? Yeah.
So, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, definitely was. But like Pez, remember Pez used to say, every day you come into school, I want you to jump up on those ropes and walk the ropes every single day. I don't care if you have to come early, stay late, no excuses, every single day.
Yeah,
the one day you don't do it, right. He said, I want you to walk on the ropes like you walk on the ring floor. I want it to be natural. And I said, yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Pez was a good guy, man. He
definitely was.
Yeah, once I come back down there for my training after the 3-day tryout, he wasn't there very much longer after that, and then he was having heart trouble or something.
Right, and then he was doing the ring. Remember, he was working doing the ring.
But he wasn't in good health, though, really.
Right. Yeah, he was on decline already, and he was doing weekend shows. But he had us doing all the work. But he was cool, though. Like said, he already put his time in.
But now, as he got a little heavier at this point in his life. But now when I come down there for my 3-day tryouts, that dude was impressing me because he was squatting and he was doing push-ups and he was doing, he wasn't doing everything we did, but he did a lot of it.
Right.
And
He showed
I'm
you
thinking to
can do it.
myself, if this motherfucker, there is no way I'm not doing it if he's doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but that not everybody thinks like that though.
But listen, so Pez showed me a tape of him, and he did a drop kick. But when he did his drop kick, he pushed off his chest and landed on his feet.
Yeah.
And he said, "If I could do that, I know you could do it." He said, "Don't give me this crap of what you can and can't do."
But
'Cause
you
he
did it
asked me to
against
do
me.
something. Yeah, but I did it. But the point was, at first, I said I couldn't do it. And when he showed me the tape later on, he said, "Don't ever tell me you can't do something." And I was like, "Yes, sir. You
But
got it."
that also goes with the guy you're working with too.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
got to also be willing to make you look good and,
Right.
and you know, do what makes you look good.
Right.
And that's the problem, that when we wrestled guys like from the power plant, we never had to worry about that kind of stuff.
Nope, because we already knew we was gonna give it our all. And
Yeah.
other people you work with, you don't even know if they're gonna be there, if they're gonna catch you the right way. I've done martial arts for so many years, and I got hurt more in wrestling than I did in martial arts, because in wrestling you trust in the other person to be
Yeah.
there or to do the right thing.
Yeah. Okay, so having said that, where you working with people now, well, let's set this up. I want to hear your reaction to Helsinki, Finland, where
Okay.
me and Sanders are wrestling you and Sonny Siaki.
Okay.
You remember that match?
Yes, that's the one where you got hurt.
Yeah. So tell me what you remember from that night.
I just knew, first of all, it was all of us. So I knew it was going to be an easy match because, it's all of us from the school. We always said we're going to take care of each other. But so when we was having them, and it was full of people, it was crowded. It was a
we
good
were in
show.
a big hockey arena.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was like full of people. So I'm thinking this is a piece of cake. And then when y'all got to that spot and something happened and he crushed your face, you went running out the ring, and like from then on, I had to stay there.
The most
I had
asked
to stay
question
there in the ring, but I couldn't focus on what we were really doing because everybody was worried about. I was worried about you.
Yeah, so you and Mike Sanders stayed in the ring, right? And you
we had to. Yeah, we had to stay and do a spot and finish the match before we got out the ring.
The question I get the most about that deal was, why did you let Sonny do a split leg moonsault? And the reason I didn't think nothing about it, because like me, you, Mike, and Sonny, we trained together. Sonny told me he does it. Well, Sonny told me he did it in TNA. And and I didn't give a second thought. I said, cool, man.
If you could do it, do it.
Let's fucking do it. So, but it wasn't like he did it on purpose. It just whatever happened, fucking happened.
Right.
So his fucking knee hit my face, and it was like hockey face off. My face was all fucked up.
Yeah.
So now, did you go backstage and see me backstage?
So when I came backstage, once the match was over, everybody was around you. I couldn't even get to you because everybody, and it was like, no, we're trying to get them help. They had called the ambulance to come, and I couldn't even get to you. And the worst part about it was I didn't leave until like 2 or 3 days later. I just stayed the whole weekend, and I couldn't get in touch with anybody to find out where you were until I saw Mike Sanders down in the hotel. In the lobby, and then we went over there to go see you.
Yeah. Now, you and Mike, I think, were the only ones that come and saw me.
Right, because everybody else left. Like the next day, mostly everybody else was gone.
Now, when you saw me at the hospital, now I'm sorry I'm making this about me, but I just never really talked to you about this.
Right.
What was your opinion of my face when you saw me?
Holy shit! When I saw you, I didn't think you was gonna ever wrestle again.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to see you now, but look at your face, and then it was all swollen, like you could barely see. It was. I never thought you was gonna wrestle again.
Now, did Mike Sanders ever tell you what the doctor told him that night when he came to the hospital with me?
No, he didn't tell me.
Well, he told me this when I got back to Atlanta 3 weeks. I was in a hospital for 3 weeks over there. So when I got back to Atlanta, Mike said he wanted to meet up with me. So me and TJ met at a Mexican restaurant up by the house. And Mike told me. I remember Mike coming in the room that night. He was there with me, and I asked him to ride in the ambulance with me because I was fucking scared. I thought I was going to fucking die. So he comes in the ambulance with me, and he left the room. But I remember he come back in, and he was acting real weird. So when I get back to Atlanta, he goes, "Do you remember when I come in the room?" And I said, "Yeah, I remember you coming back in the room." And he said, "You know what the doctor told me?" I said, "What did he tell you?" He said, go in there. Before he walked in the room, the doctor pulled him aside and said, go in there and say goodbye to your buddy because he's dead. He's like, he'll never make it through the night. He's like, there's no way he's going to make it through the night.
I do remember Mike telling us that. I do remember that.
So Mike was, when he come in there, you know, he figured, fuck it, I'm going to say goodbye to Allan because I'll never see him again. So he was acting all weird, you know.
Yeah, I do remember that. He did. I remember him telling that story.
So yeah, it was crazy, right?
But when I saw you, I knew you was never going to wrestle again because you looked so bad. You looked like your face got ran over by a car. I mean, it was really bad. It was
it was fucking bad.
Dude. It was really bad.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy shit.
Good looking son of a bitch, ain't
I? But against all odds, look at you now.
Hey, Brad, fuck you, Brad. I saw them eyes.
What? Huh?
Yeah, I seen you over there smirking. You're just jealous like Bagwell.
That's what it is.
Shit, yeah.
Shit, yeah, kid. All right, but after that, so you and I got to wrestle in Japan together.
Yep.
So, and you want your character, you wore a mask.
Yep. Extreme Blade.
Yeah, Extreme Blade. I knew it was Blade, but I couldn't remember the full name.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't think we ever worked each other in Japan, did we?
No.
Never.
We went over there together, but we didn't work each other.
Yeah, because you know, a lot of times they'd have all the Americans like we
just work each other. But
or be partners in like a 6-man or a tag team. But
I did a couple of those with Jerry. We did a 6-man.
Actually, no, I take it back. Didn't we do a 6-man together? We wrestled Muda.
Yes, that was the main event.
Yes.
It was a main event match.
Okay, I do. Okay, so that was only one match we ever got to work together in Japan.
With Muda, it was easy. It was so easy.
I do. Remember we all did our finishes on each other?
Yeah.
You know, Muda kept giving us the fucking wizard, and you know, So, but you remember that night Jerry come out? He was swinging that fucking cowbell. Remember he hit that fucking guy?
I have a picture of him in the ring swinging the cowbell.
Oh, dude,
I was in the ring with him.
You gotta
I have the picture. When I find it, I'll send it to you. Yeah, with all of us in the ring.
I remember that, and I'm sure he's probably hit more than one person with this fucking thing. Because you know Jerry was fucking nutball.
Crazy, yeah.
So he
Jerry
basically
was
took
crazy.
over Stan Hansen's gimmick.
Oh God, yeah.
So I remember that night though, when we were coming to the ring, he twirled that around. He hit a fucking guy right upside the head. I was like, oh my God.
Look, and he was laughing.
And we were all laughing.
He ain't messing up the gimmick, Jerry's crazy.
But you know what? They don't give a shit about stuff like that over there.
No,
that's why it's so great.
Yeah.
Because you know, you can go in the crowd, if someone grabs you, you fucking just hit them or fucking shove them or whatever.
And it's different over there.
Yeah, they didn't give, as long as you didn't mess with the Yakuza. Remember, Tiger used to come back and tell us, stay away from these guys right here.
Right, yeah. Don't go in this area.
Yeah, don't go near the Yakuza.
And remember the difference when we first went over there? I know the first time I wrestled over there, it was so quiet. And I was like, oh my God, am I doing something wrong or whatever? And then at the end, they would stand up and clap.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
But you know what? It got different after the more I wrestled over there, the crowd started.
They got more into it. Right. Yeah. They got more into it.
But I remember we used to watch those tapes down to Power Plant, and Sarge used to tell us, if you ever go to Japan, this is how it is.
Right.
You know, so the crowd.
But it's different when you're there and you see it because you're so used to the way we do things.
Yeah.
And then you go over there and it's like, oh my God, it's like a 360.
But now you got to work with Kojima too, right?
Yeah. I basically work with all of them over there.
Yeah. So
they love me, but my problem in Japan was the money. And I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The money. There is like, I wasn't getting Jerry money, and I'm not saying I deserve Jerry money, but they wasn't paying me.
You know, Jerry and Mike Awesome, Jerry told me they were making $10,000 a week.
That was a show.
No, a week.
Not a week? Okay. Yeah, well, I know it was 10,000 something.
Yeah, it was a week.
I know they was making good money. Making good money.
Now, I mean, I don't mind talking about money. When I first started going over there, they paid me $2,000 a week. And then every time I went over, they like upped it. Then it went $3,000 and so on. But
see, they didn't do that with me. They thought the same thing. They started me with $2,000 because they said we was making at OVW, we was making whatever. So they gave us a little bit more a week.
Yeah.
And then after that, they kept giving me the same thing. They wasn't upping it, but they said they would and they didn't.
Well, see, but every time that guy, remember in LA, the guy from the All Japan Dojo would call you. I can't remember his name.
Right.
So every time he called me, I was like, hey, listen, I was promised I'm getting more money every time I go over there. Right. So he goes, okay, well, let me get back to you. Then he said, yeah, we're going to bump you up $1,000 a week. How's that? I said, yeah, that'll work.
See, that didn't happen. Every time I mentioned it, he said, we're going to take care of it. Just be patient. You know, they kept telling me be patient.
But
And
now,
I just stopped going.
if we were still doing that shit, though, we probably would be making Jerry money.
Right. But Jerry and them started up making good money right from the Jump Street.
Yeah, well,
They were making good money.
He probably made 4,000 or 5,000, but it didn't take him long to get up to 10.
Right. And then that was his.
And he was going over every fucking tour.
Yeah. And that was the only good thing. I was going on everything, but I wasn't making no money because they were saving money on me. That's what I say.
But you know the way I looked at it. But you and I used to take like a suitcase full of tuna fish and protein bars.
Yeah, same thing.
And like I used to eat this.
Save my money.
Yeah, high protein peanut butter. So I had all my food. And then of course, every time we went,
and they take
hotel,
you out.
Yeah. Every night they took us out. I go out every night.
So you barely spent money.
Yeah. And I had to teach Jerry that because Jerry, that motherfucker
blow money.
He spent $10,000 in a day.
Yeah. I was like, "Are you crazy? Oh my god!" Yeah.
And I told him, I said, Jerry, I told him one time because me and Rick were trying to do an intervention with him to get him to quit taking drugs. So when me, him, and Mike Awesome would always go over there, me, him, and Mike, I wouldn't let Jerry go out. Like I literally told him, "You're not going out." Like I'm drawing the line. I'm your fucking dad over here. Right. And he's, and he's like, listen. He goes, well, I want to go out and eat. And I said, listen, we can go out and eat. But the problem with him is he wanted to take the whole fucking roster and buy everybody dinner. Yeah, so you'd be spending fucking $2,000 on dinner.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you go to a steakhouse, dude, that shit's expensive over there. Right. So I told Jerry, I said, listen, me and you's going to dinner. I said, me and you. I said, if you want to buy somebody dinner, you buy me dinner. But I said, tomorrow night, I'm buying your dinner.
You dinner, right.
And you're not fucking buying me dinner every day. And I said, you're not buying nobody else dinner. I said, you're over here to make money, not spend
money, not get it. Yeah.
And then you know what he told me after the second tour I went over there with him? He goes, dude, I got more money than I ever fucking had. He goes, I love when you come over here.
Right.
I said, that's the fucking point, man.
Right. Make money.
Yeah. So he told me all the time that he always appreciated me trying to, get him straight.
Right. I remember the girls at the office helped him out. Remember he bought that Jeep and they ripped him off.
Oh, dude, yeah, he got so ripped off.
Big time, they ripped him off. And then the ladies in the office did something. And they helped him get the money down or whatever it was, but they ripped him off big time.
Oh, yeah, they saw him coming because that motherfucker he'd
making all that money.
Yeah, I want to make how much for a payment? Yeah. They said, how's $1,500 sound? Oh, yeah, it's fucking great.
He would do it. Yeah.
He didn't.
But they got him out of that. Yeah. And that's what I say about the girls in the office. Because they even looked out for us a couple of times. Like if we didn't have a room, they let us stay with them. Or they helped us with personal stuff.
I'm glad you brought that story up down in Florida.
Yeah.
Shoot. Now, let me tell you something, Brad, about Elix Skipper over here.
No, Brad, they set me up, Brad. They set me up.
So Kevin Nash was having a birthday party at one of the Bash of the Beaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, me and Elix, I said, Elix, listen, pal. This is exactly how I said it. I said, you're my pal, Elix. I said, listen, we can't go out. I said, we got to get up and go to the gym in the morning. He said, oh, come on, Allan. We never go out. I said,
you see where this is going, Brad, right?
I see where this
is going.
I said, obviously, I'm the only one here that has any kind of sense. So we can't go out. And so then I don't know how it happened. I wake up. I'm in a car tied up. Elix is like, you're going into parties. Him and Mike Sanders dragged me into the Kevin Nash's birthday party. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there with my hands tied. They're shoving shots of whatever down my throat. I get so damn drunk. You remember that, Elix?
Oh my God, you were so drunk. It was so funny.
Oh
the
my
person
God,
that don't drink decides to drink.
I owe Elix my life probably that night because if it wasn't for Elix, I don't think I even would have got back to the hotel.
He don't even know how he got back. We walked back to the hotel. That's how bad it was.
I don't really think I walked. I didn't walk.
That's how bad it was.
I think Elix pretty much carried me.
Oh God, it was so funny. It was so funny.
And I kept puking. So
and you had a match the next day?
No, I didn't.
Didn't you have a match the next day?
No, remember all day at the pay-per-view, we were supposed to have a match. And you remember me? I couldn't even fucking stand up. I had a hangover till we left the arena.
Oh God, it was so funny.
So I remember I'd walk down to catering and try to get like soup or like a hot coffee or just something to drink because I didn't feel like eating. I was puking all day. So I remember I kept like going to you and Chuck and all these guys going, "Hey, you guys got matches?" I don't have a match, do I? And they're like, I kept saying that all day. Because then I would just go up in the arena, put like chairs down and sleep in the arena. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And then I'd get up every so often and go, hey, do I got a match? Do I got a match? Like, is there a match?
Oh, God.
And I was so drunk. You what?
My hardest day.
Okay.
Remember Midnight?
Yeah.
Remember Midnight?
Yeah, I used to love her.
Remember that day? Do you remember the time? I think we were somewhere. Anne Marie. And I went to do legs with her.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
And I had to do a match, and they did something, worked it out where I didn't have to do the match because I couldn't even walk. Like, I'm messing around with Midnight. And then when I went back to the school, Sergeant was yelling at me, talking about, don't play with my money and all other stuff. I could have gotten in big trouble.
Yeah, because, me and Asia, or not Asia, me and Anne Marie, Midnight. I remember we used to sit with her on the plane a lot.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, me and you, like, I used to love that chick, man.
She was cool as shit. Chick. She was like one of the guys.
Yeah,
she was one of the guys.
Of course, my ex-wife, just talking to her, would have thought I was banging her.
Right, no.
But, I used to work out with her all the time. We did legs and stuff all the time.
Right,
but she was, and I wish I could get a hold of her now. I'd like to talk to her.
Yeah, she was a monster. Oh, my gosh, she was so good. She was really strong. She wasn't just looking, like some girls look. Well,
and she was athletic
strong.
As fuck.
Yep.
She reminded me of a two-legged deer. She could jump so damn high.
Another Mark. She was another Mark. She could jump.
She made Mark look like he couldn't jump.
Yeah. Shit.
She used to ride motorcycles and everything else. Man.
Everything. She's like I'm saying, she's like one of the guys.
I'm not kidding you, man. I would have married that chick if she wasn't married.
Yeah.
Like
she
I
was
love
cool. Man, she was one of those people.
Yeah, I remember one time we were sitting on a plane and, you and her, all the big money, you had cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone yet. You guys are over there taunting me going, oh, look at my cell phone. You ain't got one.
Nah.
You remember that when we were sitting there?
So ask me why did I end up getting a cell phone?
Because Sonny had one?
No, because I got yelled at because I got off the plane. They wanted me to do something with Booker T and them. But by the time I got home and got the message, it was too late. And they was like, you need to go get a cell phone. They said, you need a cell phone because how are we going to do stuff with you and you don't have a phone?
I got
it. They was like, how do you not have a phone?
Like that. So what was the deal with you to do something with Booker T? Wasn't something do something with that too?
They was setting up something. They wanted me to do it. But as soon as I got off my flight, they wanted me to get back on another flight and go back out to wherever. And by the time I got home and got the message, it was too late. It was
so you possibly missed one of the biggest things of your career.
Could have.
God damn.
Could have.
Well,
but I ended up getting a cell phone the next day. They sent me to the Sprint store out in wherever and had me set up to get a phone.
Yeah, I know what happened. Anne Marie come and picked you up, took you to the damn Sprint store. You and her got your matching cell phones, and then you come on the plane the next week and just taunted me with your cell phones.
Uh-huh.
That's what happened.
Hey, so they don't realize how tight we was because back then with my ex-wife and your ex-wife, we used to all go out together and do stuff together. That's how close we all were. And remember OVW when we got fired?
Yeah.
We picked up my motorcycle, put it on the back of your truck.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. We remember we wrestled that match somewhere up in like Dayton or fucking somewhere. And then as soon as we got done wrestling, remember it was cold as shit.
Yep.
Because it was a couple weeks before Christmas. So we got all your shit, all my shit
in the back of the truck. And
we had a tarp over your motorcycle and stuff. But I remember we both just picked your motorcycle up and said, fuck it.
No ramp, no nothing. We picked a damn Hayabusa and picked it up and put it in the back of your truck.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I do remember that. So what do you what were your feelings that day they come down there and fired all of us?
I was hurt because I felt I was a good wrestler and I was only going to get better. And then I told them when they fired me, I said, it's going to be your loss. I said, because I'm going to continue to wrestle and somebody's going to hire me.
Yeah. So that's what I told Johnny Ace too. But
I was hurt.
Johnny Ace told me that he would help me go to Puerto Rico, help me go to Japan, which he never did.
No.
Did they ever promise you shit like that?
No. I think they was telling everybody the same thing. Like, if you need help, we'll help you do whatever. But what was good was, knowing Muda, knowing Jimmy, talking with the boys, and you made that connection. They see you wrestle. Then once they knew we didn't have a job, then it opened up doors. And that's how I ended up going to Japan and still making money. So thank God for that. And working at the club.
And you were still doing TNA too at the same time.
Yep,
right?
and I was doing TNA. So,
But I mean, we were pretty much fucked in WWE. I tell people like this, Elix. So looking back on it, so all we were guys that come in there, help these guys get ready for TV, and then just get rid of us. Because all the guys we work with are all the guys that they put on TV at the time, and we should have been there with them.
Yeah, because you remember one time we went to school, John Cena was down there. It was a couple of them, but all those guys made it up. David.
Well, now John Cena was always down in Louisville. Remember, we would go down there Sundays and do the TV show.
And do the show. That's what we seen.
And we wrestled John Cena. We wrestled fucking Orton and Batista and D'Lo Brown.
Remember Eddie was down there at one point because he got in trouble with something on the road.
Well, he was with us in Cincinnati, though, Eddie Guerrero.
Right.
And him and Brian Adams, Steve Blackman.
And he was cool as shit, Eddie Guerrero.
Dude, all those motherfuckers.
It was like he was one of us. It wasn't like he was better or whatever. He was one of the boys.
Remember, Eddie used to put us over. He put me over like $1 million fucking dollars.
Yep. And that's like, and that reminded me when I wrestled with Ray and Kidman. Because they was like, we're over. So our job is to get you over. So I'm beating somebody. But everybody else didn't have that mentality.
No, but Eddie Guerrero did.
Yes, but Eddie Guerrero definitely
We would work him on fucking indie shows, and he didn't have a problem doing a job for any of us.
Yep, he did not care. It wasn't important to him.
Nah, fuck no,
because
he knew we were all good.
About. Right, because that's not what wrestling's about.
Yeah, so I do miss Eddie Guerrero a lot, man. He helped us out a lot down there.
Yeah, people like that, other people don't understand it. They're like, oh, everybody. I said, no, you can't compare him to like Lex Luger or those other guys because they wouldn't put you over for shit. Because they thought, like, imagine Goldberg putting us over. And I like Goldberg. Don't get me wrong. He's a nice guy. But imagine him putting you over. You think he would put one of us over?
Not in a million fucking years. That's why I tell people
that's
in
what
Japan,
I mean. Yeah,
you can't get any bigger than the Great Muta in Japan, right?
Right.
Now, when I wrestled him, I wrestled him in the main event. You know what he told me? I didn't believe I was wrestling.
Right.
So, and I wrestled him in a couple main events, tag team, singles, three mans, whatever. So I go in the back because remember Kaya? Kaya. He goes, "You're working Muta tonight." I said, "No fucking way." He goes, "Oh yeah, you're working Muta." I said, "Fuck." Yeah. So I went back there and I asked Muta, or Muta goes, he sees me and he goes, "Oh yes, have a seat, Funkster." And he says, Muta, me wrestle Funkster tonight. Muta Funkster wrestle. He goes, "That's okay." I said, "Fuck yeah, it's okay." Fuck yeah.
He's asking you if it's okay.
Yeah. Then he said, he goes, "Yes." He goes, this what Muta say. Muta say, "Funkster, you do all your special moves in Muta. Muta get you over. Muta do nothing." And I was like, I said, "What?"
Yeah.
And I try to tell people, you don't get any bigger than Muta.
Right.
You don't get bigger in the States.
He was it. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan in the 80s ain't big as Muta is right fucking now in Japan.
Right.
And you got a guy like that telling he's going to help you get over it. Hulk Hogan
do everything you can.
Never done that.
Yeah.
Lex Luger would have never done that. None of these motherfuckers.
And that's what people don't understand. Like, it's different over there. They get the concept of you doing it for the show, not doing it for yourself or to get yourself over. You get the show
somebody else up to help your company.
Right. But you build the next person up. People don't get that.
Exactly. And that's why I love fucking Japan. And I tell people that story. Muta said that to me. Nobody believes me. They're like, "That's bullshit." He didn't say that. I'm like,
because they never wrestled with him. That's why.
Yeah,
they never wrestled.
I'll tell you what, Muta couldn't have been a fucking better guy to work.
Yep.
Because
remember back then, I know when we was going on tour with him, I know he's having knee problems and everything. Yeah. He wrapped them shits up and wrestled. That was it.
He was in a lot of pain a lot of days.
Yep, he definitely was. But he wrapped them up and he was going to work. That's right.
And he'll make you look like $1 million fucking dollars.
Yep, that's right.
And that's what I loved about that shit over there.
Yep. So. Love.
But all right, is there anything you want to promote or you doing anything now?
No, not yet. But I don't know. I was thinking one point I wanted to write a book to talk about all the stuff that we've been through because people wouldn't believe it. Like, people always say we had it easy.
Well, listen, you ever want to write a book, we'll get together and write one together if you want to make it easier.
Okay. You know what, Allan? Let's do that. I'm serious.
We need to write a power plant book, really.
Right. Of what the things we went through.
Yeah.
The life and the story of Prime Time and Kiwi or however, I don't care. But we really should.
So we need to work on getting a publisher and somebody to help us get this shit rolling.
Okay, I'm in.
Because you're talking big bucks. We're going to be on the
Brad,
New York bestseller.
Brad, you are witness. We're going to do this. No excuses.
Fuck you, Brad.
Fuck you, Allan.
Definitely. All right, Allan, I'm gonna hold you to it.
All right,
I'm gonna hold you
we're
to
gonna
it.
get that rolling here, but we're gonna wrap this up. I mean, it's already been an hour and 11 minutes. It doesn't seem like it does.
Yeah, don't. I'm just talking.
Yeah, we're just reminiscing, man.
Just talking.
Always good to catch up with you, Elix. So
yeah,
I owe you dinner. We're gonna go to dinner. Here pretty soon.
You heard that, Brad? Right?
You know what? I'm gonna splurge. Either we're gonna go to Waffle House or Taco Bell got a good value menu, right?
no, I want Waffle House. Waffle House. I don't care. I want Waffle House.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about Texas Roadhouse, but
that's our spot.
That's our spot. You can get a steak, and I'll just get an appetizer. That way I can afford it. Because Elix drives this $110,000 Hellcat.
Don't even start. Allan got a car. He don't even know what kind of car he got. He got a digital display that shows in his window. And he don't even know what it is.
No, I got a 1984 Toyota Camry.
He lying. He is lying. He is lying. He didn't even know how to start his own car. He didn't even know how to start it.
Come on, I did too.
Ask Allan, can his car drive itself? His car can drive itself. Ask him. Seriously. Ask him. Brad, ask him.
You got a Tesla, huh?
Brad, ask me the question.
Can your car drive itself?
Brad, as I stand here, I swear my car cannot drive itself. It's
he is damn lying. He is damn lying. I'm telling you, he's lying.
All right, listen, if you got the cruise control on, it will automatically steer.
Isn't that driving itself? Isn't that driving itself?
Like it'll go around curves and everything.
Thank you. That's driving itself, right?
But then the lady will come on and go, please grab the steering wheel.
And what happens when you don't grab the steering wheel?
Then I'll say, bitch, shut up.
I was taking a nap.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
Shit. So hey, Elix, I really appreciate you coming on here, brother.
Oh, thank you,
know I love you like a brother, man.
Oh, I love you too. You already know.
Shit together, man.
Yeah.
So it's good that we can still stay in contact after all these years, man.
And we're gonna do a book.
Yeah, we got to write that book. I'm all in for that. Hell yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I just have to have Brad fill in on my podcast because I ain't gonna have time to do the podcast writing the book.
Oh damn, Brad got our back. He gonna let you drive the car. Well, you don't have to drive it. You just gotta sit in it, Brad.
Yeah.
You just gotta sit in it. That's all.
All right, this guy's talking. He's got $150,000 Hellcat with a custom. It's got a Canadian leaf paint job on the side with his Cruiserweight belt on the hood.
And what's wrong with that? And what's wrong with that?
There ain't nothing wrong with that, but he had Jesse James, out there build it for him.
Brad don't know who that is.
I do too.
Yeah, do you? Oh, see, Brad, I like you more, Brad. I like you more. Allan don't deserve you. Allan don't deserve you.
Shit. All right, Elix, you want to jump off here or you want to do some commercial with us?
No, you do the commercials. We got to keep going on my book.
Oh, okay. All right, Elix. Hey, again, seriously, thanks for coming on, man. I know you kind of had a little, you were a little apprehensive to do stuff like this, but I appreciate you
but it's
taking
cool,
your
though.
time and spending it with me, and fuck you, Brad.
Fuck you, Allan.
All right, Elix, I do appreciate it, buddy.
All right, take care, guys. Take care, Brad.
I do owe you,
Elix.
Sure.
Take care, Brad.
Take care as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Elix, what about me?
Yeah. Take care, Big Eddie.
I love you, Elix. Take care, brother.
All right, love you too, Allan. Bye.
All right, man. All right, so let's get Elix Skipper, baby, giving us some of his time, and we appreciate that. So let's get to let's do some sponsors here, Brad, so we can take this thing home.
All right, here you go.
Oh, he's still. Hold on a second. Oh, wait a minute. You still there, Elix?
I think he's disconnected. He
is? Okay, I got you. All right. Let's get these sponsors out of the way here. What do we got first? Healthvape.com. Like I said earlier, if you are in a healthy lifestyle, but you still want to vape, please check out healthvape.com. Now, these products are all natural, no nicotine, no harmful chemicals. You can also use the code MWA Pod, get you a 10% discount, courtesy of the MWA Podcast Network. So these, like I say, these are like smoking a Red Bull. Give you energy. They got vitamins in them. They're all infused with vitamins, all natural. So please check them out, healthvape.com. Use code MWA Pod to get your 10% discount. Also, check out sleeps.com. Sleeves.com. Now, this is your one-stop shop for anything you need. If you play football, basketball, MMA, you do any kind of sports, baseball, check them out. They got dirty boxers. They got mouthpieces. They got headgear. They got elbow pads, knee pads, jock straps, cups, whatever you need for anything you're doing. So check out sleeves.com. Don't forget to use your code MWA pod. Get your 10% discount courtesy of the MWA Podcast Network. Also, please check out our website. It's www.mwapodcastnetwork.com. That's the website. Now, if you want to go to the merchandise area, flash that on the bottom. There you go. Storefrontier.com/MWA World. You can check out our great t-shirts we got from all the podcasts we got here at the MWA Podcast. We got the Get Funk, which is mine. We got Killing the Business with Angel Medina, the ECW original. You got Killing the Business with two of the greatest independent workers of all time, the Dead Presidents, Boogaloo and Lowrider. But he goes by something else. Chung, right? Chung. Okay. Then we got Piers Austin does the shooting the shit with Piers Austin. He does straight from Australia. He's got a lot of good Australian independent workers. A lot of good what do they call that? He does with the it's like the CCW or the hardcore shit.
Yeah.
The death match.
Yes.
Yeah, he interviews a lot of guys with the death match stuff. So check out all our podcasts we got. And then also I got another one on Thursday nights live, 7 p.m. You can check us out on Twitch, our YouTube channel. Just check out MWA World or MWA Podcast Network.com. You'll see the shows we got. Me and Angel do a show, Angel Medina from ECW. He's one of the original Baldies. We do the Funkin' Kingpin show Thursday night, 7 p.m. live. Knights of the Gimmick Table, they tape their show, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so check out Knights of the Gimmick.
Last night was live.
Was it live?
Yep.
I thought they did a live show because it was on Twitch.
Yep, they're live.
So if they don't tape it, it's live, 9:00 p.m. on Sundays, right?
Yes.
Actually, I think they did want to go live, so they could be on Twitch.
Yes.
So, is that the only live show we got?
You're live. They're live.
No, I'm not live. Well, Funkin' Kingpin show is.
Pierce is live. NXT Roundup is live.
Okay. So, yeah, check out all the good podcasts we got there. So, let's wrap this up, Brad. Thanks again for all the hard work you do for the show, Brad. You got me that clip. You got the new countdown clip, man. You got the clip with me and Elix on it. So, your work does not go unnoticed. Even though I say fuck you, Brad, a lot, your work still don't go unnoticed. I appreciate it, man.
Not a problem.
So send us home. Everybody, thanks for listening to the Get Funked podcast on the MWA Podcast Network. Peace out.